what ultimates are stolen and how they're utilized actually in the hands of Rosa. So you guys can let us know too who you think's going to get the upper hand here. We're jumping into the Land of Dawn. It's game one in this semifinal match between Aurora Gaming and Bigatron by Vitality. Again, the team that wins this will move forward to face Onic in the grand final. And the team that loses will play in the third place match.
I love the stories for both teams coming in as this bout. Again, Aurora Gaming holding on to that final boss status out of MSC despite dropping in the top 8. There's still a team to be feared, reaching new peaks. While BTR, they're still trying to, bask in that glow of their championship season. First across the river will be BTR Vitality. You can see just the priority Matilda gets, despite, in my opinion, BTR being a little slower on the uptake because their side lanes are kind of difficult to work on. It's the mid that they have priority over. At least they can rest their laurels on that. Oh wait, Moreno finds Rosa, forced to flicker out. I call that a technical knockout.
Yeah, that's good. This is what you kind of expect, Leo. If you just get a battle spell out before that first turtle, I think that's, value that you can't deny. They do get that out of Rosa, which, again, not having it doesn't mean that we won't see Aurora Gaming contest for the first turtle. It's one of the things, you just get to level 4. You might be able to go ahead and get some good usage out of an ultimate. But one thing, too, is Moreno, man, with the arrows. This is why we have talked about just how good he is on the Selena. Such a maestro, literally, with the Selena. And we saw it, yesterday, man. It just seemed like he was making these crazy angle shots with the Abyssal Arrow, which then just allowed Nile to kind of swoop in and make it happen, So hopefully there's a plan here for Aurora.
You're talking about the young 20-year-old Marcel Juan Moreno Sinolunga. As early as 2023, we've seen him, punch way above his weight class, at least in terms of the Indonesian realm of MLBB. But now he's on a world tour. But as we were, speaking his praise, Aurora just snuck that turtle through. Tienzi gets it. Shogun with the flicker coming in, engages.
Whoa.
That is a by Rosa. He's in too deep. Bigatron draws first blood.
I don't know if Rosa meant to go ahead and just do that or wanted to try to potentially survive with the stolen circling eagle, but not ending up where you wanted to be, So you face a death. Your flicker is going to be back up here in a bit, but obviously recalibrate. Whoa,
Lunar! Oh, that's the reason why the Phobius was just such an easy pick. Again, they were winning the side lane already. I think they needed a quick rotation there from Pagu to get there, but Moreno looking to burst down. By Moreno, he survives.
Yeah, he's a tree,
Oh! Tienzi knocks out Eman! Just like that!
Well, he's not a tree, so Eman gets punched a couple times and falls down. A good find here for Aurora Gaming. That's going to be some extra gold going in the hands of Siggy Boom. Now, man, this Melissa, we have to talk about it a little bit, just how successful it's been. It's the most picked hero behind the Valentina, and with a current win rate of 64%. Again, that's just how strong it's been. And part of that strength is the zoning capabilities with the muddles. I think that's one of the main things, because even if you're approaching a base, or you're trying to knock down some of the turrets, the zoning of muddles, and then once you have your stacked items, Siggy Boom's going to be a big problem for Bigatron by Vitality. So it's like, okay, we're going to go and commit to this. You have to almost burst her down before she even gets a chance to pop the ultimate to, go away from me, basically.
Yep, it's a wayward Hanabi, maybe a better Hanabi, as some would say. Looking at the map right now, Bigatron, despite some odd trades, are still up by about 200, 300 gold. First of the scene again is Aurora Gaming. Pagu zoning out Finn. Tienzi laying down the smackdown on the turtle. Here's a real circling eagle from Finn. And now Pagu looking for it. An amazing taunt here via the enchanted ult. And they take down Shogun. Bigatron by Vitality weren't ready for that.
Yeah, they weren't ready. Even as tanky as Shogun is, it seems like Aurora Gaming is just so quick to say, you know what, let's just go for this objective. Let's secure ourselves the turtle, put ourselves in this position. We don't have to force all these fights if we don't want to. If we happen to pick someone off, great, but let's just go ahead and get objectives. And now they slowly compound with that decision to build up on a gold lead. And again, playing the long game here. They're playing against a Matilda. Pagu.
In comes the rest of them. Now Rosa gets away, survives, and Pagu punches Niall right in the face just to stop them from finding more. Aurora Gaming now up by about 1,000 and change. Again, even survives in mid. We know that mid is where Bigatron by Vitality should be pushing. That's what they sacrifice the side lanes for. But Aurora are denying even that.
Again, this is why, you know, you got to give it up to Rosa. Rosa has to deal with a lot of pressure, but Rosa's still able to survive, you know, flicker down again. So we'll see if Bigatron by Vitality takes that information and says, you know what, let's go for Rosa one more time, try to go ahead and get a kill in our hands. But they're also slowly just kind of responding that. If Aurora Gaming doesn't get caught, then just keep up with it. Farm, get to the point where you need to be. If they give up the next turtle, though, I'd be surprised. But I don't think that's going to put Bigatron by Vitality in any rough situation leading into the first Lord once we get there, because they've just been able to go ahead and capitalize on a farm. Again, it's been a while, right, for the Claudes to really kind of shine the way they have in the meta, but it can still happen. Even though Emon faced a first death. Oh, hold on.
Lunar has 4 on him. Answers with an I'm offended, and the flicker takes out Finn. Trades out. Again, he knew he was going to die, but the fact that he took one along the way means the world to Aurora Gaming.
You going with me if I go down too is basically what Lunar said. And, you know, so I don't think that's too bad. And now the turtle's up. They can make a move here. Bigatron is around, though. And they're going to bring Finn back to this fight. So no take on the turtle just yet. TNZ, half health, but he's going to be fine. Still has that purple buff on him, too. But they're going to finally face off against this turtle. Past 2, we haven't seen that by BTR. But now Aurora Gaming in position. It's going to clear out the mid wave here, but they're looking for their own opening.
Eyes on Pagu. A flicker, Wrath of the Dryads could change things. Procs that second skill, finds Eman, force him to BMI back. Nanael holding this fence brush. Eman AOT into that pixel, finds a couple. Flicker Darkwave once again from Shogun, turns everything sideways. But Aurora Gaming still find him! The pickoff and the turtle! The Turkish squad are 3 for 3.
Objectives are what they wanted, and Shogun. And they found him twice now. They're looking for more.
They'll convert straight into a tier 1 in mid. Sigiboom unbothered. I bet his brother Apex 47 is watching from the sidelines. That's my brother.
Yeah, he's definitely feeling good about it. Sigiboom starting to get online here. Very close to the Trinity. You can see it. He's got the 2 items locked in. Croesus Scythe DHS. He's working on that golden staff. He is 1,000 gold ahead of Iman, which is great. Again, it's a great position to be in. Even in the jungle, you've got 1,000 gold difference. But so with Aurora Gaming having this kind of lead across these roles, it's more so of picking those fights. What I have liked is, you know, you haven't seen Pagu be too overzealous on trying to set things up with that Wrath of Dryad ultimate, because they have to go, whoa,
hey,
come on.
Violence from out of nowhere. Kenzie just clocked him. Stars. Eman's seeing stars right now.
Oh,
was that? No, even Moreno. TNZ finds another, and he might even get Nanael. Triple for TNZ.
What are in those boxing gloves, man? Because
Dynamite.
TNZ, I guess you don't bring gun to a boxing match. Man, TNZ able to cap off multiple kills. And that's not who you want to deal with at this point. 4-0-2. They're already in the base.
Oh, at least they're trying. Bigatron by Vitality do clear the minions. Shogun gets pulled in, but he's not having any of this. BTR get to keep their inhibitors, at least for now.
Okay, they keep the inhibitors up. I don't know, I'm sitting here scratching my head, Leo, because of just, what do you do when you're getting bursted down that much? Who's going to be the one to face that front side? And I think that's why giving those early deaths and kind of delay on the tankiness of Shogun, because he died early on, really alleviated that pressure that Aurora Gaming had to deal with. And now, this should just be a lord for them.
Joseph, here's the thing. It's not even real tankiness. Again, the reason why Aphobius is able to hold the front line is because he's spell vamping. He's taking a little bit back, right? But Rose has anti-heal at this point. I don't know if Pagu has a dominance ice. He should at this point. And then Tienzi's burst is ridiculous.
Yeah, Pagu might.
As cool as a flicker Darkwave is coming from Shogun, you can't beat real tankiness, real front lines. If anything, Pagu's the only thing that's here. That's the closest to that definition.
Yeah, that's one of the main things there is, again, I think if you're trying to scrap up whatever you can, if you're Bigatron by Vitality, it's kind of holding on up to this point because you don't want it to get out of control. You already have to deal with this Lord here, Leo. So you've got to deal with this Lord, maintain yourself in the game. Emon needs time to go ahead and catch up. They just don't have the itemization. And now this Lord charges in. She'll take out this bottom turret as it does. Here the waves are pushing in.
Lunar looking for a lethal. I'm offended. Circling Eagle comes in. Plus a few Infernal Pursuits out of Shogun. They keep themselves up. No one has fallen just yet, but I can't say the same for the inhibitors inside BTR's base. The Lord gets taken care of. Couple of ults still online for Aurora Gaming. They can still find that flicker. Wrath of the Dryads, but they will hold out. Again, the discipline out of the Turkish champions.
They might attempt this, though. They have a wave pushing in. Unless they go for an I'm offended combo, let's see if they can end it.
Arrow thrown out. Flicker, Dark Wave once again from Shogun underneath the base. Pagu takes too many hits, but Eman falls first. 1-for-1 the trade, and they're still up. Shogun falls finally. Sigiboom gets free hits on him. Rosa with the flicker. Reposition, and now the back line. Sigiboom finds a couple, and now the base is exposed. It's just Moreno left, and he doesn't even want to give himself up. Aurora at match point.
Aurora Gaming with a dominant game, number one. You can see the smiles on their face and the celebrations because, man, oh man, did they give it to Bigatron by Vitality here. As we're about to go ahead and jump into this game once again, ladies and gentlemen. It's a semi-final match with Bigatron by Vitality and Aurora Gaming. Right now, it's match point for Aurora Gaming to once again get to the rematch of last year's Game of the Future against Onyx in the grand final. And don't you worry for the fans out there, Bigatron by Vitality, if they do go down, they'll fight in the third place match tomorrow.
And waiting there is none other than the Malaysian champions, SRG. Looking at the side lanes, again, that's where a majority of the action will be dictated from, since mid lane are just jockeying for position for a better turtle take. Eman here invested in an early Gherkin, so he knows that he's outranged by Sigiboom's Melissa early on.
Yeah. It's one thing that you have to be wary of. Again, this mid lane, a lot of pressure here towards Moreno. But again, you're not going to be too worried. You're fine here on this Matilda. One thing, though, too, is, again, Pagu, when he was introduced to us on this lineup by Aurora Gaming last year, he's one of the players who he's a playmaker, I think. And sometimes we've seen it before. I think that's why even when the Cho was banned, it's like, all right, sometimes Pagu, and this is just the nature of Cho, by the way. It's really struggles. But with a Belric in his hand, expect him to be aggressive. Expect Pagu to try to set up with a Wrath of Dryad. And I think whatever Rosa is going to take here, which is, I'm looking across, I think it's just the Circling Eagle, man. I don't think there's really anything else we can expect Rosa to take for an ultimate, right?
Would not blink if he actually went for the ult on Novari as well. I think that would be a very valid move, just to expose where everyone is from BTR. Like, that is basically losing battle. Speaking of, Moreno sets it up, but Nanael with the burst, and no clapback just yet from Aurora. Just like that, see? It was clear pickings where Aurora was, and that's why Nanael was able to go like, you know what? Let me yeet that turtle out of you.
All right, objective secured. It looks like even in the gold lane right now that Eman's got the upper hand anyway against Sigiboom. That's kind of to be expected, especially in that matchup, but if they can scale up, get that Brody the items that he needs, you know, even with a blade and the second item, I think it's going to be the Lift Grow unless he does something else. Will he be the one to get the Sky Piercer instead of Niall, right? I think it's more so the Brody.
Yes.
To lock it in.
4 out of 5 times it's the Brody. Rarely do we see it on a Nolan, if ever they do share a lineup. So with that said, again, BTR have a small lead, solid lead to build off of. We're waiting for this next turtle to actually shift gears, because it's a minute out, upper quarter.
Yeah.
We'll see if even, you know, these two juggernauts down bottom can make it there. Lunar is out XP'd. Wow.
Yeah, he's kind of having a hard time there. Even got the Dreadnought armor working in. No. Astral Echo laying down.
Finn knocks a Pagu. Pagu forced to flicker back. Torn apart memory, not enough stacks. Pagu survives.
Yeah, Pago's going to be able to survive. Good on him for there. 30 seconds away from this turtle, so Bigatron by Vitality looking to go ahead and pick up some extra gold across the map. Taking a green camp here from Aurora Gaming. We'll see what else they can make as they reset towards this top side now. Part of this, again, is just waiting for Sigiboom to get in line, get scaling up here on the Melissa. The problem is he's just kind of getting outlaned right now. Emon doing a really good job, and they don't have much pressure. Like other than if TNZ happens to find some of the deadly magic, this is a lineup that really has to kind of just wait for its moment. If you're Aurora Gaming, you're literally just waiting to cook here. And now the second turtle is up, and BTR has control.
And that makes it 2 for 2. Ain't no way Aurora can contest for that. And I think you're right. They're waiting for Sigiboom to come online, or for Rosa to steal the right ult, and for Pagu to find the perfect setup. So in the early to mid, it's a two-step process for Aurora. All this while, BTR, all they're thinking about is Moreno scale up, Nanayala's items. Eman can get stacks on, especially since Eman invested in an early Malefic gun. That is a stroke of genius. I really like how Eman here said, I lose on the range, but I can burst you down, Sigiboom, especially since you're waiting for your power spike. Let's do that now. That's amazing for Eman.
It's just extra reach, that you have to go ahead and deal with, and kind of helps him, obviously, even in a sense of, again, he's all about distance, but even if he has to reposition, they might do it here.
And they find one. Pagu, he tried, he really tried, but the first blood honor goes over to Eman, and they're hunting down Sigiboom, forcing him out. Oh, I smell a turret take up top. Like, this is BTR setting up for that smash.
Yeah, this is such a good move here from BTR. Cut the wave, let Eman go ahead and push that in. It just feels like TNZ this game, how much impact he had in game 1 with the Paquito. You haven't felt anything from the Harley, in game 2. And again, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, how long do we need to wait if you're Aurora Gaming? We've seen deadly magics be... Whoa!
Moreno did not see that coming. I don't know if it was for a lack of vision, or he did not expect Lunar to take that angle, but Lunar just popped him. And Moreno was forced to use a flicker too, yet he still died. What?
That was not very maestro of him. But I guess, he just didn't have the vision, man. I think that's one of the big things, but that is a kill. Going to the hands of Aurora Gaming. They might go ahead and try to push into this turtle. I mean, he's going to be back up, so if they want to go ahead and go for a fight, they can do just that. He's got the Astral Echo ready here.
He does.
They've already got 2 turtles in their favor, so they can go for it there. He drops down the Astral Echo.
2-man echoes exposing Pagu and Lunar, but I don't think that makes much of a difference. Those are the front liners. This is as 50-50 as it gets for the turtle. Bigatron are up by about 1,000 gold. Shogun comes in. Circling Eagle coming in from Finn. Knocks up one. Not enough. Again, they're looking for the re-engage. Pagu with the conceal. Lunar with the jump. Astral Meteor. Star Shatter misses. Oh, but just like that, BTR knows Aurora are out of range. Nanael takes 3 for 3.
Okay. I don't know if Aurora Gaming really wanted to commit for that fight, but once they expended a couple ultimates or resources, it looked like they wanted to pull off, but then... I think it went down to, maybe we can retry steal it, but that didn't happen either. So really good 3 for 3 for Bigatron by Vitality in terms of objectives. Now they're going to be able to go ahead and focus elsewhere. But it's still, you got to give it up to Aurora Gaming. Despite all this, it's not some massive gold lead going in the pockets of Bigatron. It's just one thing after another. And I think still, it's one of those cases. We might see a 20-plus minute game here with the way things are going. Because Aurora Gaming can play this game. They can slow it down a bit. But again, when Lord comes into play, I think that's where it might change, because on the base defense, how good is this lineup to be able to go ahead and defend? Oh, Niall waited patiently for an opportunity here.
Oh, this is a nefarious angle. He's not even going to go for the recall. Oh, Aurora Gaming, massive! Astral Echoes, but they space it out. He finds Sigiboom, but he trades out. Pagu with a taunt and the takedown. Coming in from Finn. Eman with a shattered attack. The torn apart memory gets another. He clicks it at the right moment, taking down 3. Good trade for BTR.
Really good trade, and Emon is online. Picks up a Sea Halberd too, and he's got that Sky Piercer. So he's got a couple on the Sky Piercer now. But I think even Lunar wasn't expecting that. He burned the Flicker too, but still went down because of the range with the Brody that Emon has. So really good placement there. You could see the difference. He's a 1.3k ahead of Siggy Boom. So, it makes sense. I guess this was worth the trade in the draft. That blue first pick, Uranus, given the space, this is probably the best performing hero by Shogun so far throughout the past couple of days. At one point he played Uranus back to back to back. And now he gets it in game 2 to hopefully get Bigatron by Vitality to game 3. The Lord is up. BTR will go ahead and start this one up.
My God. Talking about that Uranus on Shogun. What an intimidating paperweight. Essentially what it is. Even with the Astral Echoes, the Uranus just adds more to it. Instead of ending fights with a period, Shogun's Uranus ends it with an exclamation point. It basically just cordons off where Aurora Gaming can go, and it allows Bigatron to control range, to control engagements. That's why Eman is sitting at 3-0, which I think puts him at maybe 2 stacks on the Sky Piercer. They have just so much control over fights. Aurora have to find a way to play the map. That's the only other option.
Yeah, he's definitely got the stacks here. This has been a rather low kill game too. It's just more so of here's one pick here, here's one pick there. Objectives, this is very objective based right now, just because again, Aurora Gaming's lineup, it's really built on allowing Siggy Boom to come online. Tienzi really has been not efficient, on the Harley. He hasn't been able to convert kills or put pressure really that we're used to seeing.
Look at this. Unfortunately, the range on Aurora isn't as good as well. They could not use the Holy Shield to take care of the wave in Pop Lord. Massive circling eagle. Pagu flickers in, pops the ult, but E-Man is the man, dealing way too much damage. Ushering in the Lord, taking down that inhibitor. 2 down from Aurora Gaming, and Joseph, we might get what you've been asking for oh so dearly throughout the night. We might go to game 3 as Nanael goes under Rosa, but he takes down the Rose Queen. The Thorn Queen gets picked off, and just like that, the base cracks. BTR forces us to go all the way.
More time today. Will this Mia be an answer for Bigatron by Vitality to get them to a grand finals, to once again have a rematch against Onyx or Aurora Gaming? Make it happen with the Ixia combo with the Matilda. This is a great game 3 ahead of us.
I'll tell you now, if it was a contest of what the hells, Bigatron wins. Like, sure, the Ixia... Yeah, if the Ixia Matilda combo was, from out of left field, Bigatron by Vitality is playing on a different sport entirely. Like this Mia.
This is
what?
This is literally they see the Ixia Matilda, they're like, hold my phone. I'll do one better, It's a Mia coming through. Because we have to talk about the potential here. It's so different just seeing the gold lane. The frames alone, an Ixia versus a Mia. Battling it out 1v1. Whoa, meanwhile, up top.
Whoa.
Flicker burned.
Lunar smelt it, and Moreno had ill intentions, so you were saying.
Yeah, this is so odd, right? But essentially, I think one of the thing that makes it so scary for the Mia specifically is, again, the passives that build up to her, that attack speed that she gets, the ability to basically have this kind of debuff removal built into her ultimate, that hidden moonlight. Oh, they're going to make a play.
All right. Say what you will about the amazing kit, but surviving a gank this early on is a no-go. The guiding wind saves Tienzi from sure death. But again, there's a reason why the Rafaela was drafted as well. People forget she has a passive, easy respawn.
Yeah, okay, respawn. That's one of those situations where you're just kind of like, just wait till I'm level 4. That's one of those things. But Turtle's up, and this is just going to go in the hands of Nile. He's going to be able to go ahead and secure the objective.
Ooh, massive Astral Echoes exposing 3 members of Aurora. And I think they're aware that they were just going to willingly give that Turtle. But the price that they paid for, the prize that they get is to bear down on Eman as well. Jury's out on if it's worth it, though, because they didn't kill him a second time.
Yeah, they didn't get him. He's protected now. I think that's what they're going to have to go ahead and do.
Whoa! Siggy Boom, how does that feel? your turn to get dogpiled on by BTR, by Vitality. This will close the gap. Yeah, prior, Aurora was almost 1,000 up. Now it's just barely 500.
And you got to think how deadly this is too, Leo. The second skill of the Mia, that Arrow of Eclipse. You get that little bit of a stun, right? That you can actually pair really well. Oh, they're gonna make a play on Eman again.
Eman is down.
Man, now he's up. Eman is down. Now he's alive.
Know.
You know, that's what's gonna happen.
I don't know what the economic value of respawning again just to die again. Finn here in trouble. Burst it down by TNZ.
Oh, okay. It's getting a little rough, and they're gonna go back. They're gonna swing back to Eman's lane, so Eman is gonna be frozen out because he just can't play on this front side. This Mia might have just been a little bit too risky to pick up at this point against this kind of lineup until he can get online.
This is tough.
I mean, look at this. This is a lot of gold.
Tough is not even covering the beginning of it. Oh, wait. Oh, Astral Recall. And Echoes, Tienzi has to back out. The shields on Matilda ain't enough. Even after getting purple, I think, BTR should be able to score turtle number 2.
Yeah, we'll see if they have enough control around it. Purple buff is going to be worked on by TNZ. With turtles up, they've got control of this, and now Eman is here too, so they're going to fight for this, it looks like.
Lunar, cut down to half. There's an Astral Echoes of their own. Circling Eagle by Pagu. Finn very low, answers back. Oh, full barrage! Serving up a kill to Lunar, but Nanael finds the big dinosaur. Flicker forward by Rosa. TNZ by hook or by crook takes that turtle, but Eman takes down Rosa. So a turtle for a kill, trade win. Oh, Tienzi, he knows Nanael's low, but Eman might punish. That's a bloody trade.
Yeah, if there was just maybe a little more damage on Sigiboom, that full barrage would have gotten a couple more kills, I think, off of that. It was a really well-placed one, but again, just not enough damage, but that is something. That's a preview, basically, of what Bigatron by Vitality has to watch out for, especially later on when we get to the Lord fights. You can see that, it's a little bit of a trailer. He's got the Corrosive Scythe. Looks like he might be building up the Skypiercer next. Niall, I believe, just picked up his Skypiercer, so he's going to be looking to pick up some stacks now. And then playing into it. Again, it's 1-for-1 in terms of the turtles, but it's been pretty dicey fights already around. You can see this Lunar. He'll pick up a Chastised Baldrin.
So that's good for the Barats. Again, the main source of damage right now is still Nanael. Maybe a little bit from Eman. Moreno still building up. Just picked up his cooldown boots, and of course, already has a lightning truncheon. Speaking of which, much like Kelra earlier tonight, Nanael's Pakido makes quick work of a turret when left alone. So this final turtle spawning the upper quarter, I think this is beneficial to Bigatron because this will at least buy time for Eman to farm up, recover from the early game beatdown, and then give Aurora Gaming false hopes of taking that turtle since they're like 1-for-1 each. But Sigiboom, this early on, did you see that? He built a Skypiercer already.
Yep. I saw him going for that when he actually locked in the Corrosive Scythe. So this is a good adjustment, though. Bigatron by Vitality is still doing a pretty good job at not letting things get snowballed out of control for Aurora Gaming. This is going to make a great team fight, though, for the third and last turtle of this game. You can already see Eman making his way up for this fight. They want to win this one. And now that they're online, and now that they have Skypiercers across both sides, these stacks are going to start to matter here if they're built up. You can see Rosa holding on to the Wrath of the Dryad. Might be looking for an opening here.
Whoa! Look at that, the repositioned. Detna's welcome. Poof, throw him into the wall. Set up, but Tienzi falls first. And the damage from Sigiboom's full barrage ain't there just yet. Eman with the forward flicker. Arrows. Taken down. Pagu. 3 for none. Bigatron by Vitality. Take the turtle and 3 kills for free.
Oh my goodness, Moreno's on the hunt. Sigiboom's there. Oh, he already sent out the Star Shatter. Oh,
Moreno! All right, so a little bit of delayed gratification for Aurora, but I give all of that to BTR. That's a win for the robots.
Yeah, 100%, man, because that's also 2 stacks that went over to Niall. So now he's got a couple stacks of the Skypiercer. We've seen this before. Back in game 1, when it was TNZ with the Paquito. Now they're going to have to worry about Nile. Star Shatter being thrown out there. They're going to go ahead and take this orange buff. So they've got that. Purple is secured by TNZ. Now we have to see how Aurora Gaming wants to make some adjustments across from this, because they're starting to fall behind a little bit. They maintained a gold lead earlier on. Now they're the ones trying to work from behind. And this is also where Emon, I feel like after, you know, the first, 5 minutes or so, where he was just punished for just picking a Mia and not having a level 4 burning flickers. Now he's able to go ahead and actually pop off here a bit. Even more so if this game extends when he gets his, you know, Trinity of items locked in.
8.5 minutes in, I think it's official. E-Man has been emancipated. He can now go around the map threatening kills even more than Sigiboom with his Sky Piercer, which has maybe 0 stacks. Something tells me something closer to like maybe 1 stack or 17 stacks, something like that, because he died and he got a kill and then he's fine now, but that's basically 0. This is Lunar setting it up. That as well. Come on to nothing. Shogun just sidestepped that. Bigatron by Vitality, they know that they have to finish now. The mid-game to early game, late game power spike is real, because once Sigiboom comes online, like for reals, after this whole little, you know, pre-15-minute puberty stage for the Ixia, this is where BTR lives.
And Sigiboom is he close? I'm trying to see. Okay. So he's still working on it. I think he's quite delayed. I wonder what the gold difference is between... Okay, on cue, good call there. You can see the difference. It's just 600... Oh, no. Sorry, it's just 1,000 gold. Well, that's quite a bit in terms of what Emon's dealt with. And that's why they just blitz this Lord, man. Very quick work. Emon's online.
No doubt. Emon has been online as soon as Aurora Gaming kind of alleviated the pressure on his neck at the 6 or 7 minute mark. So now BTR by Vitality knows that they have to make the most of this downtime from Aurora Gaming. Aurora Gaming down. If they have to like force it to the 15, 16 minute mark without losing too much, because that's where I foresee them actually getting a dub. Oh no, Lunar's trapped.
Trouble.
Lunar's trapped.
Okay, he's got the turret at least. Oh, they're gonna pressure this?
Fine.
Okay, no. Okay, they just get the turret. I didn't know if they were actually gonna go and try to follow through off of that in between both turrets, but they stayed disciplined. I think one of the big things here that glaring problems right now for Aurora Gaming is just how quickly Bigatron by Vitality is able to move across the map. They take down the tier 2 turret. Part of that is because it's a combination of expanding rivers, but also having the Rafaela, right? That little speed boost that our heal gives you is just helping them be everywhere. And I feel like even when you look at Aurora Gaming, some of the reactions of the player cams here, you know, they're seeing the map be taken from them, and they just can't move fast enough, even with a Matilda, which is so interesting.
Yep. The Matilda's movement is relatively fair because she can only really, you know, yeet someone out one at a time. All this while, Bigatron by Vitality, Holy Healing, speeds up everyone in your vicinity. Yeah. And then you have Moreno, who kind of takes care of himself. Astral, his second skill, Astral Recall.
Oh,
no,
Recall,
Astral, the arrow,
opposite
basically.
of the Star Shadow, yeah.
Yeah, it allows for him to kind of move through walls. So that's basically, you know, guiding winds at home for himself alone. And now they're gonna trap TNZ, gets away, survives. Woo!
Okay, taking a shot there too. TNZ gonna be fine, but yeah, I think it's just one of those cases where, in terms of mobility, Bigatron by Vitality is S+ tier. You know, Aurora Gaming is good, but it's maybe I'd put it at S-, just because, like you said, you get that whole speed boost. And also, Moreno can basically take care of himself. And honestly, at this point, if Emon gets jumped on, you have that ultimate, right? You can actually just go ahead and pop that, gets rid of the debuffs, and then you can kind of move and reposition yourself. And so now, whoa! Lunar!
Flicker! Detona's welcome! Thrown into the wall! Answered by an Astral Recall. And then echoes. Shogun still alive. Punches by Nanael. Lunar gets pulled back. Full barrage! Takes down Shogun! Aurora Gaming's first win in quite a while, given they spent so many battle spells and ults to get there.
Oh man, they used a lot. nearly everything to make that happen. They've still got some room to breathe here, but because of the respawn, they're just full forced against Bigatron by Vitality, half health on the Lord.
Oh, BTR knows that there are no more resources for Aurora Gaming. That's why they go blitz the Lord. Nanael knocks it out, puts a jersey on that Lord. Second time this game. It'll spawn in mid, if I'm not mistaken. Should be a clean go, so they can sink these waves pretty well. 13 minutes in. I'd say Aurora Gaming, even with the whole tango that they pulled there with the pickoff, are still looking at a maybe 16, 17-minute berth to be able to, you know, say, we can do this.
Yeah, it's starting to come to fruition, though. I think a big part of that, again, if they can get themselves those 3-ish minutes that they need, Sigiboom is nearly, has the items pretty much that they need to. He can be threatful. It's just more so of can he set up a full barrage and utilize it. Astral Echo.
The most beautiful echo I've seen. All 5 members of Aurora exposed to BTR's push. Fortunately, Aurora made the most use of that time and space in mid. They are able to take down the Lord and clear the waves. No inhibitors fall, not today.
Okay, I think that might be all that Bigatron by Vitality gets. They got all the tier 2 turrets down, but they aren't approaching these base turrets just yet to knock them down. Although the top one is damaged quite a bit. They've got some waves to work here. Now Bigatron.
What is Rosa thinking? Look at how far Rosa is. Emma now eyes on the inhibitor. Rosa's a little too far off. How did he end up there?
I think they wanted to potentially go for a play. Wait, Rosa canceled the recall. I think they want to make a play here. He's got the Wrath of the Dryad.
Yeah, that would be ideal if they got it. Circling Eagle. He finds Eman and the taunt. A little bit of damage. Eman will get thrown down. Pagu finds the kill, the pickoff, the Mia for the turret. Joseph, I don't know if that's worth it.
Oh man, I mean, I thought he was just gonna recall, but then I guess he got the signal to go ahead and try to catch Emon. He had the Wrath of the Dryad. They do that. So Aurora Gaming takes a bit of a risk there. They lost their top base turret. Lord's going to be spawning in about 50 seconds. Opposite of the opened up lane of Aurora Gaming's base. Ooh, that is tough, man. That is tough.
Okay, just doing a little bit of math. If it wasn't in the long lane, might have been worth it. But for Bigatron by Vitality, this feels nothing but just a speed bump. They haven't lost their lead. The map is clearly red. I'd say Aurora still needs to look at that 16, 17-minute timer. Sigiboom currently is sitting on, just one more item. What is that, a DHS?
Maybe. Maybe if he goes to DHS. I don't know. Is he just going to be completely glass cannon? Is that just because you have a Matilda here? Oh, yeah, DHS. DHS is locked in. So he goes that. This could be enough, though, Leo. Like, I mean, if they go into a full fight and don't lose anyone before the Lord fight, that full barrage could change an entire fight, and that's why it's such a big risk pick. This Iksha. Lunar's got to get some stacks here, man. He's got to go stack up. He's got to get that big form here on the Barats.
Oh!
We'll see what they do.
TNZ bursts down Finn, puts him at half. Lord now approaching half health.
Oh, no!
Moreno already throws out the Astral Echoes used to pick off Rosa. So Aurora are a man down.
Oh, without Rosa, I think you just have to let this go. What can they do here? I mean, they're just blocked Shogun. Just going to be that tree right in the choke point. Lord secured now here for Bigatron by Vitality. Really tough for Rosa to go down, and that timing, now they're going to have to defend. Oh, Astral Echo.
Slowing him down. Pagu does the only thing a Matilda can do. Circling Eagle defensively, knocks him up, and that's enough to keep himself alive. Lord spawns up top. There's a lot of work Aurora has to do to survive this push.
Okay. They can do their best to, I would say, just stay in the game here. This might be the case where they lose their base turrets. With what Bigatron by Vitality has been able to do, again, they're just fighting better. They're just finding these moments better than what Aurora Gaming has been able to do. TNZ will slow it down, do as much damage to the Lord so that it's easier to deal with, and it looks like Aurora Gaming will manage these waves that are pushing in. So that might have been enough to just go ahead and nullify this Lord take.
Yep. More than enough. Aurora Gaming actually flourish in this position.
Hold on.
Answers with Dennis Welcome from out of nowhere. Throws him into 2 allies. Pulls him in with the missile expert. Shogun with the flicker. Enchanted ult. And there will be a trade out for Shogun for 2. Rosen, Lunar down. Sigibum looking for more. Oh, that Wrath of Dryad sequence was amazing. But it will end in a 2-for-1. Down goes the inhibitor down bottom. Mid lane still standing. Aurora still breathing.
Oh man, and Leo, a respawn at this point in the game. When everyone else has 30-second timers, you just bring them back.
Oh no, it's a Faramis at home. The Rafaela makes so much sense. There's still a wave. Still minions coming in from all angles. Full barrage coming through. Down goes Danael. Circling Eagle, but Pagu will get answered. No waves. No waves with just Sigiboom and Tienzi left.
Okay, Sigiboom and TNZ can defend this, and now Lunar and the rest are back up. This should be able to stay in the game now, but Bigatron by Vitality might look to potentially make a play.
Oh, another Dennis Welcome throw in. Shogun into the wall. Shogun, no one home for the Wrath of the Dryad. Down he goes. Recall plus a Star Shatter into the face. Picks off Sigiboom. They need Sigiboom. I don't know if they can win without Sigiboom. The freeze on the Tienzi. The base is exposed. There's still minions. And Amon and Finn wailing away. Bigatron by Vitality are going to the grand finals.
It's a brand new day as a Bigatron by Vitality will face off against Onyx. It's a rematch happening in Astana, Kazakhstan here for the Games of the Future 2026. What a game 3 we were just delivered here.